Hi, and welcome to Teletalk. I'm Liv.
And I'm Ben.
And on this episode, you'll hear our carefully considered and not at all random thoughts on a show we like. There will be spoilers.
We're giving ourselves an age rating of 15 and above, but you're welcome to make up your own mind. Listener discretion is advised.
We have a brand new show to cover.
It's Suddenly Amish! I feel like I have to do that with jazz hands. Suddenly Amish!
I appreciate the jazz hands.
I don't know if... Are they suddenly Amish?
I mean, they must have put some level of thought into this.
I don't know. You'd think that, but actually, as we find out, maybe they haven't. So maybe they are surprisingly suddenly Amish. But
Yeah.
what is suddenly Amish?
Well, I was just
Liv?
going to say that because you brought this show to my attention.
I did.
You had become aware of it. And you said, oh, new show, Suddenly Amish. And I was like, what is that? A bunch of normal people, like in normal society, that get thrown into the Amish community. And yes, that is what happens. So it turns out that the bishop of the Lancaster Amish community has decided that there's too much inbreeding, too many young people are leaving, and they need new blood. So in unprecedented times, he has reached out via one of his English friends, English being a term for anyone non-Amish, like Muggle. And he's helped him recruit some people to come and try being Amish for a month.
Oh man, I'm not going to be able to think of it as anything other than Muggle.
Well, maybe
now.
that's what we call them.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
It's confusing for us because we actually are English.
And obviously, as an Amish guy, he went, do you know what this needs? TV.
Yeah. That's how you reach the masses, right?
And he was like, none of my brothers would probably, like my brother Amish gentleman would probably agree with what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, the unspoken bit is, but they ain't going to see it.
Well, we do hear a couple of times in the episode that his community is more liberal than others.
Yes, although again, that's relative.
Yes.
So, yeah, so the premise is that that through, he calls an English friend...
A Muggle friend.
A Muggle friend.
Because they're all American.
As a go-between, because obviously he can't phone anyone or whatever.
Yeah.
But that Muggle friend is actually a shunned.
No, I think you're misunderstanding. But like, he actually has a Muggle friend.
But
shunned guy is just someone he thinks can help him.
So I think he is I think they consider him English.
I didn't know. I don't think so.
Well, we're already disagreeing, so this is going well. So this episode is the first episode of the first season.
Yes, so it's introducing us to the whole concept.
Yeah, it's setting the scene. Then we meet our stars.
Our 6 muggles.
Our poor saps. These wholly unprepared people.
Holy.
Hey! Ba-da-da-dum-tsh. And then we get the beginnings of them being, I'm going to say integrated with super air quotes.
Yeah.
This is going to be fucking brilliant because...
Sorry, but I was going to say, before we go any further, when did you become aware of Amish being a thing? Because it is not a thing here.
I've been aware of it for like as long as I can remember.
I remember watching a documentary as a teenager, I think. It would have been a Channel 4 thing. It might even have been Louis Theroux, now that I'm thinking about it.
Because, yeah, has Louis Theroux been to the Amish?
Yeah.
I think he has. Yeah, that might have been it.
I think that was probably
me.
it. I'm just wondering how many of our British listeners would know what the Amish community is as a setting, because really it's a community that is church, dress, sense, a very closed off, no technology.
It's all about limiting exposure to sin and temptation, isn't it?
And living off the fat of the land.
There's a lot of bits of it that I find uncomfortable. But I find a lot of hyper religion or fundamentalist religion quite uncomfortable. You know, with the like prescriptive dress, as particularly for the women and stuff like that. So I find it a bit challenging, but I can see why some people would find that really appealing.
But essentially, they're a community cut off from other communities. I mean, they don't even have cars. They have buggies drawn by horses.
I do remember one early time that I was introduced to the concept of Amish, and it was a Weird Al Yankovic parody song of Gangster's Paradise by Coolio, but it was Amish Paradise.
Right, okay. I think I've seen that on YouTube.
The music video,
Yeah.
yeah. That churning lots of butter.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might have been one of the earlier.
But the idea of this is that it's going to be a complete culture shock for the Muggles.
The Muggles. Is that
You have to get on board.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yes, because it's confusing calling them the English when we are, in fact, English.
Yes, that's true. Their stuff is all like German, like rooted from German. So they speak a German
dialect of German. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's really interesting actually, because we see them have conversations and they sort of sag from this Germanic dialect into English, like actual English.
I think a lot of bilingual people do that, though.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that their language has only a limited amount of words for things, because it's right old and that, and it's mostly about, oldie worldy stuff. I'm very limited in my knowledge.
I'm coming to this having watched Breaking Amish and Return to Amish.
Yeah,
a few years ago.
See, I want to watch those shows because I would find that really.
We're just struggling to get them. Aren't we?
We're trying to find a UK way of watching them.
Yeah.
This one is on Discovery Plus because it's new.
Yeah, and I think I watched it on. It was Discovery Plus. It was really cheap, and then they put adverts on it, and I didn't like it, so we cancelled it. But I'd already watched all of the Breaking Amish and Return to
we got
Amish.
a cheap deal back then for it.
Yeah.
Because through like a phone deal or something.
I don't know.
We tried it out.
Was.
We were just like, whoa, there's loads of. That's how we kind of got introduced to TLC shows.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So, yeah, it's a really interesting concept, and it's like, how do we smash cultures together and see how it goes.
But as you've already hinted at, these people are woefully unprepared. Yeah. I would have been more prepared going into this.
I don't think the producers have picked anyone who they think is actually going to integrate well. I think they've picked train wreck people.
So let's meet them. I want to start with Matt because he's a bit boring in this episode. I think his time will come. But for now, they focus on others. Matt is a divorced father of twin boys who are 7. And he is 34. 35, I think he is, because he's questioning his life choices. And I thought, oh my God, you're a similar age to me.
He's the son of a champion lassoer, or like calf
rodeo
for the rodeo, yeah. Not a rodeo rider, but that wasn't his thing. No. We see him riding a horse a lot.
Yeah, and I said to you, he's got a head start here, because the Amish rely a lot on horses.
I thought you were going to say the Amish are famous for their rodeos.
No, that's not, no.
Amish Rodeo, that's the name of my band. It's a really bad band.
But this guy is Matt. He is questioning his life choices, and so he thinks being Amish will be the solution to his problems.
And he wants a simpler life for him and his sons, assuming that his presumably ex-wife has no say in this.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how that's going to go when it comes to custody.
Well, they can just be Amish on the weekends, can't they? He clearly doesn't have 50-50, otherwise he wouldn't be doing this for a month.
Amish on the Weekend, another great band name. Yeah, I think it's telling that you just went, Matt, he's boring. And that's probably one of the nicer things we're going to say about people on this, right? It feels harsh, but he's getting off light.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we get to judge, right?
Oh, yeah. Can I pick who I want to talk about first?
Fine.
I want to talk about Billy Joe.
Oh, God.
Billy Joe, who has been really interested in, obsessed with Amish.
She literally uses the word obsessed.
For 20 years, and has dressed as an Amish person in her day-to-day life as a barista for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
They have found an obsessive... And they've gone, hey, look, this person's applied. And they're like freakishly obsessed with the Amish. Let's put them on because that is uncomfortable. I loved, there was a bit where she sat with, I presume, her friends.
Oh,
if someone can have
friends. They were supposed to be customers, I think.
Central casting. We're gonna put some actors in here to pretend that they want to talk to her.
This doesn't go well, though.
No.
It's like she hasn't had an opportunity to prepare.
No, because they go, is it offensive to the Amish that you wear their clothes but aren't Amish? Like, would they
Fair
be offended
question.
by that? And she goes, that's not how I see it. And I went, that is not what they asked you.
Yeah.
That is not what they asked you. You dodged that question, which makes me think the answer is yes, they hate it. But she's like in full oldie worldy Amish, like religious, like the garb, the dress and the head, just serving coffee. And she's not Amish.
Yeah.
And then we see her house.
It's not the whole house, it's just one room.
She's got basically her Amish living room, and she's like telling us, lecturing us almost about like, oh, well, these are all traditional Amish dolls. They don't have faces. Only authentic Amish dolls have no faces.
Yeah, but did you notice that she really has a collection? She's got figurines, she's got these dolls, she's got the dress, she's got a bonnet for her cat.
She's got a butter churn.
Do you know what the Amish don't have? What? Excessive stuff.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Worldly goods.
Yeah.
Also, she was dressing up her tiny dog in Amish clothes.
Yeah, old dog. Yeah, I thought it was a cat. Yeah.
It was
it's
a dog.
the size of a cat.
Yeah, a dog the size of a cat dressed as an Amish person.
It's a cute little white dog.
Yeah, so you would think that of all the people, the six muggles, you think that she would be the one coming into this with her eyes most wide open. Do you want to talk about what happens with her, or are we going to get to that?
No, we're here.
Yeah.
We're talking about Billy Joe.
So
she also says, people call me BJ.
Sorry.
And then one of the other people, I think it was
Kendra.
Esme.
No, it's Kendra.
Was it Kendra?
Kendra, she was like, yeah, my surname's Bates, so they used to call me Master Bates.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what that meant.
Bless her.
Yeah.
As a child, bless
Yeah,
her.
yeah. I love that, like, yeah, people call me BJ.
I don't think Billy Joe had associated that
No.
with sexual connotations until
It's not
Kendra brought this up.
It's not what you
Because
expect
she
when
looked
you
a
go
bit
into
put
the
out,
Amish.
like, what are you saying? But no, she turns up, and the rest of the Muggles think that she might already be Amish.
Well, it's because she's dressed in the uniform.
I know.
But she's really judgy. Like, really judgy.
Isn't everyone really judgy?
She's very judgy of Kendra. And we'll get on to Kendra later, but Kendra doesn't show up very appropriately dressed for going to the Amish. So I was going, that seems... But, like, I just felt like Billy Joe was really like, well, that's really slutty and stupid. And, like, really judging. I'm like, you're the one that spent 10 years cosplaying an Amish person back in your box.
Yeah.
But her biggest challenge is the shitter. Like, because she's very adamant of, like, you can't control when you need to go, and when you need to go, you have to go, so I'm going.
They all of them, all six of them, seem to be very focused on the Amish community being able to take them back to nature.
Yeah.
And so Billy Joe's like, when you need to go, you
When
need to go.
nature calls.
Yeah. And then she gets there and she's like, oh, I did not
Yeah.
need to go.
So this woman who has been obsessed by her own definition with the Amish did not understand that would mean outdoor outhouse non-plumbing.
Do you know what? I don't think this is necessarily a thing with all Amish families. Because I don't remember this coming up in anything else Amish that I've watched. So I could see why she would be surprised.
What I found really distasteful, and I was getting offended on behalf of the family that she's staying with. She is very vocally unimpressed.
She's rude.
She is rude. Like, I don't think this is sanitary. This is terrible. I mean, I've got to go, so I'm just going to have to do it. And then she comes out going, I wasn't sure. I felt I should have asked whether I should have used the round hole or the square hole.
No, they do have lids.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She's like, I shouldn't have used the square one because now I've got a splinter. And what does she do? She goes, I'm going to get Kendra to look at my arse.
Yeah.
I'm like, the one I was judging earlier, she'll be fine to look at my arse.
Well, they're split in two, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're the only two females.
That'll be it.
In that house.
There was me thinking she'd singled her out specifically.
No,
But
she's
yeah,
seen a lot of asses. She can look at mine.
She really did not like that they didn't have toilet roll.
But the guy who was showing her around the toilets, her sort of host, was like, I expected to teach them a lot about our culture and heritage and such. I did not expect to have to teach them how to use a toilet.
I like this guy. He is going to be. He's going to be the. I get the impression he is the Amish one-line zinger man.
I wanted to know, was that a long drop?
I hope for her sake it was.
Or was it just a bog standard hole in the ground? Like, what's...
Bog standard,
I know, right? But what's there? Like, it's this shack, and it's wooden, and there's some holes on a bench, but what's the rest of the system? I want to know.
I don't see why not. They can dig them.
Yeah, but
Well, otherwise,
or
what's
do they
the...
have a cesspit?
I did not expect to be discussing practicalities of toilet engineering.
Why not? It was a big topic on the show.
Well, maybe we'll find out in future episodes. We don't find out.
Like, they embrace some technology. Like, for example, the wheel. Where does it
Right,
stop?
and fire, presumably. Yeah. And buildings.
Barn raisings.
But not electricity.
No, not electricity in most cases. But what about chemical reactions? I.e., cesspit.
Okay, well, we'll find out, I suppose. We're on a learning journey as well. It is the learning channel, after
Maybe
all.
it goes to fertilise the land.
Yeah.
There aren't enough horses.
Oh, man, that might well be it.
Yeah.
Though they're going to have a rude awakening.
Solved it!
Yeah. Congratulations, you've already contributed to the land.
Thank you.
One thing that we do learn is that they do not like casual tosserate sayings, like when he goes, "This is the toilet," and she goes, "You're lying." And he was like, "I am not lying." He did not like that.
No, why would you say that, though?
I think it's just like you're so used to in culture saying things off the cuff like that. I think
Why
culturally...
didn't she say joking?
I mean,
it's a much more common phrase.
Maybe it's not in America. We're British. We don't know. But yeah, it was just you could easily miss it. But I thought it was a really telling social interaction where his face gloomed over
dropped,
and he was stern. He was like, "I ain't taking that shit." So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, I think Amish life is not going to be as simple for her as she thinks it is.
Yeah.
I think she came in going, "I got this, guys. I'm home."
Yeah. What was good about the way she was dressed, though, is that she showed up respectful.
Yeah. Maybe that should lead us naturally on to her complete
Kendra.
opposite, Kendra. So Kendra is a dancer.
Yep.
33 years old.
Yes.
We learn quite a bit about her backstory.
Yeah.
In sort of veiled. She's relatively recently found God and been baptized, and it was huge for her.
The last few years, wasn't it?
Yeah. So she sort of shares that she did OnlyFans and really regrets it because she was at a really low ebb in her life, and it seems that the finding of religion was a reaction to her feelings around that. And that maybe going and doing the Amish side of things is sort of an extension of that, trying to search for something.
Well, she talks a lot about feeling judged because as a dancer, she's expected to show up to auditions basically in underwear.
Yep.
It's all about showing skin.
Yep.
And she finds that along with that, people assume that she's...
short-term relationship girl.
Yeah. And with low moral standards. And she said, I'm not like that, and I'm fighting against that all the time. And I think she's just had enough.
It sounded like, from what she said, because we sort of got snippets here and there, I got the impression from what she was saying that she was that way at a point. Because she talks about having slept with lots of men.
Does she?
And the wrong kind of men and stuff like that. And it was sort of like in very snippets and sort of slightly adjacent stuff. Not that it matters, but it seems to matter to her.
Well, it's also the edit that she gets and that we get shown.
Now, I will say, were you to be showing up to the Amish, whether to stay or just to visit, what would you wear?
Right, so it's hot, right?
Yeah.
So the shortest shorts I would wear would be knee length.
Yeah.
And I would wear quite a high-cut round neck top with at least short sleeves.
Yes.
Not too tight. Somewhat baggy.
I feel that Kendra was not on that
No.
thought process.
One of the other muggles described her as dressing as a slutty cheerleader.
I think that might have been Billy Joe. So yeah, she's got a low cut top.
Yeah.
No sleeves, and she's wearing a very short. Was it a skirt?
It's like
or
a
dress
skater
skirt?
dress.
Yeah. So it's
Halter neck.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what the bra situation is there.
But it was not what
it was revealing. You could wear it to a club.
Yes. Now it's like in life, wear what you want. Fine. I'm not judging a woman for wearing anything in particular. Like, that's up to her. However, you are going into a culture specifically to immerse yourself in a culture that is known for its
Conservative
conservative.
dress.
They have a very they have one dress that you can wear, one, with a headdress.
Well,
like, it's like if
there's
you
variations. Like, people make their own dresses.
well, yeah, but it's like
I think there's one pattern.
yeah, and so it's really like that you aren't gonna be meant to show loads of skin and stuff. Like, as a man, I wouldn't show up with my shirt off. Or in Speedos.
Or what about a net vest?
Well, indeed. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't do that anyway, but it seemed so unaware of the context of the situation.
But doesn't it make you question whether they were asked to show up in what they would normally wear?
Because,
show up as in like a standard day.
Yeah, because I also said, like, we get the when we're introduced to all of these characters, these muggles, we see them filling up a suitcase.
I know.
And I'm like, why are they bringing all their clothes? They're only allowed to wear, like, one thing. And it's not going to be anything that they've got.
Yeah, although, interestingly, in this episode, no one is given clothes to wear. They are wearing their own stuff.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So I can already see in this show that there is the heavy hand of the producers making sure that there's points of conflict, and which is natural. It's reality telly and stuff.
And
but
also,
it's quite
there
noticeable.
might be an element of reality, of they're just highlighting certain things,
bringing the tea to reality,
making sure that we actually get to see some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's illustrative and performative to a certain extent. So, but yeah, she shows up, and everyone else is like,
Yeah.
And the was it the bishop?
Yes.
Of the church, who's the one that's invited them here. He is like, oh dear, I need to nip this in the bud. So he's like, Kendra, in the barn for a chat, please.
And he stands really far away from her. There's,
yes, he does.
10 foot between them?
Sort of like making sure to sort of look her in the eye or not at her at all.
Yeah.
And he goes into great length. And I thought, by older white man who's a leader in a church standards, he was quite mild with his dressing down, if you'll pardon the phrasing.
Yeah, I mean, he just explained that it's not an appropriate way to dress, and then the church's perspective, which then led quite heavily into that's the perspective of all the wives.
Yes.
You would be seen as a threat, and you would not be allowed into a home.
Yeah.
Because it would be seen that you are attempting to attract the husbands and the sons away from that home.
Yes, there's this standard sense of the men can't help themselves, and so you have to cover up, basically, right?
I don't know if it was as much the men can't help themselves as the women are questioning your intentions.
He sort of said it suggests something about the way that you feel and believe and act. And
it's respect, isn't it?
And what he was basically trying to say, it seemed like, was, look, you can't dress like that if you're going to integrate. It won't work.
Yeah.
And she comes out very upset.
Yeah.
And I can see why, from what it sounds like. She explains that she's been having this same sentiment expressed to her.
Well, she
whole
refers
life.
to it as slut shaming.
Yeah.
And I do think that's misguided, because I don't think that's what this is.
No. The purpose of this endeavour is for you to come and fit in and try and integrate into that society.
With them. They're not trying to integrate with you.
And he's trying to say, that's not going to fly.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And why? I think he did quite a good job of explaining the whole thing to her.
And whatever you feel about the cultural standards of their community, like whether you think that that's good or bad or whatever, that's what they are. And the essence of this exercise is integration.
Yes, and Kendra has willingly chosen to go and do that.
And none of the other female participants in this dressed anything like that.
No.
They dressed either they dressed in cosplay or they dressed in pretty much what you described.
I think the closest we might have then come with one of the male muggles is Judah.
Oh, yeah.
And his swagger, because he wears platform boots with very shiny buckles, I think they are.
Yes.
Yeah, he's dressed.
And he's got like a big sparkly belt that's undone.
Yeah.
And and consequently you see a lot of his boxer shorts.
Yeah.
And he's got big chains.
Yeah, he's making a statement.
And when we met him, he was talking about like he doesn't really fit into the ghetto that he grew up in. I think that's what he said, because he can't get by without his weekly manicure and pedicure.
I thought it was
And facial.
fortnightly.
Well, I mean, that undermines my whole point.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
But
I'm
his
like,
grandmother, I think it's his grandmother, is worried about him not fitting in because he's black.
I think there's other
I
reasons.
think it might be all the bling.
Well, and also his mum is like, but you're afraid of farms.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
And insects.
oh dear.
Yeah.
But he seems to think that he might fit in there better because he wants to go off grid.
Yeah. I'm not
like,
sure how much I
oh,
believe him. He's very young, though. He's 22.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, this process is gonna chew you up and spit you out, young man.
Yeah, or it will be the best thing that's ever happened. I think it might be that.
I think he's gonna
I
get
want
spat
it
out.
for him.
Yeah.
He's grown up feeling like he doesn't fit in. Like, it would be nice if he could find some semblance of community.
Well, we'll see. He's going into it with best endeavours, bless him. But yeah, he is. He seems like a nice enough lad.
He does. And when they were going through his bag, because 3 of them, they went through their bags. It was Judah, Aaron,
And Esme?
and Esme. Yeah, so they all had their bags weren't allowed to go into their host's
No, you can't bring
house.
worldly goods in.
Yeah, so they were, after they'd settled in a bit, they took all their stuff to a bench under a tree and went through it just to make sure that they weren't going to bring anything in. And the only thing that they found in his that they didn't approve of really was his ripped jeans.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, can't I have those? And they were like, no, because
all right.
they're already ripped. And he was just like, oh, okay.
What about my boots?
But I thought that showed quite a lot
Yeah.
of character for him, because he's like, oh, like he clearly put effort into packing for going to the Amish.
Yes, there is a little bit more resistance with other muggles that we'll get onto in a bit.
course.
Yeah.
I was just saying that he's young, but
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, he really wants it, and I kind of
Yeah.
want it for him.
And in some ways, because he's so young, he hasn't had as much opportunity to get set in his ways as much, maybe.
Or maybe he's had longer, because he's grown up with technology more than some of the older people.
Oh.
You know, we've got some 30-something-year-olds, a 40-something-year-old. They haven't necessarily grown up with the same level of technology as a 22-year-old.
We have got quite a mix in our 6.
Yeah, the youngest is 22 and the oldest is 44.
Yes.
But that's about it for him, I think,
Yeah.
for this episode.
Yeah, I like him despite myself in some ways.
Yeah, like I said, I got high hopes for him.
I'm not sure I share the high hopes, but we'll see. Well, shall we move on to Esme?
Yeah.
So Esme's an interesting one because we don't learn too much about like what she does in life. I can't even remember what her job was.
Oh, I think she's an autism teacher.
That's right, an
Or
autism therapist.
Therapist, yeah.
And she talks about being brought up by her mum on her own and as an only child.
Yeah.
And that she's always been alone and that she wants a sense of community, but also she's very big on traditional gender roles.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be a girl boss. She wants a man to provide for her and for her to not go and work.
Yeah.
And she feels like the Amish society will give her this idyllic, foundational, traditional home setup.
Yeah.
So she's going for it for that.
Yes. But she idolises her mum by the seam of things.
But wants to do the opposite.
Well,
She's definitely idealised the whole man as the provider thing.
it seems like she, in her adult life, and maybe even early teens, has mimicked her mother. She says her mother won't go out the house. She doesn't go out for the day. She doesn't even do a day without makeup. And she's the same. She wants to get away from it, but she's so immersed in it.
Yeah, this is one of the muggles that I think production have picked as this is going to be a train wreck person.
I think when you said idealised, yeah, she's romanticised the Amish lifestyle, I think.
I think she's quite naive.
Yeah.
And that comes to a head later, doesn't it? Like, so she's one of the ones where they search through her suitcase.
Well, she dresses all right, because
Yes.
when she gets there, she's in long trousers. I don't know if they're leggings or trousers, and a high neck black top. I mean, she's all in black.
Pretty much as you described,
Fairly,
you'd have shown up.
fairly non-assuming.
Yeah.
And then they go through her bag. I don't think they find too much in her bag, but they look at her in more detail and they notice her long fake nails and her fake eyelashes.
Well, they tell her, like, you've brought a lot of makeup. None of that.
And she's like, it's not makeup, it's skincare.
No,
and they were like, that's a slippery slope.
That counts.
But the wife, who is the cousin of the shunned guy, Emma, she's the host for Esme and a couple of others, and she is fascinated by all this skincare stuff.
Yeah.
She's like really reading the packets and the
I think she's trying to identify, like, is this sinful or is it not?
I don't know. I think she's fascinated.
On that note, just as a slightly aside thing, if that's okay, I thought it was interesting that with the only ones that we see getting the worldly goods stopped at the door and the one, like, and then rootled through was the two cousins, the older couple who have done a lot more fostering and adoption, have adopted 4 kids from the English world or the Muggle world. We don't see them riffling through and making quite as much of a big deal as we won't contaminate the house with the worldly goods. And
they might have done it though.
Yes, they might have, but we don't see it. So it's interesting to see whether they'll be treated slightly differently at the 2 houses or not.
Well, I think they will, but that's life, isn't it?
So the conflict that we have is that they, like you said, they examine Esme in closer detail and notice some other stuff that is verboten.
Yes, and they ask her to take them off, and she says no, and they are like, right.
And they're like stumped because they're like, but you're here to integrate, and you're now saying no.
Yeah.
So
they call in the backup.
Yeah, they call in the couple, the older couple who have adopted 4 kids before from the Muggle Society, like we said. And they come and go, so what's up with this then? Because you said you wanted to come and integrate, but now you're refusing to do what we're asking.
Yeah, and they do talk to her about it. And she's like, they're just important to me. They're part of who I am.
You've taken too much from us.
And Emma says, but the whole point of this is that you won't need those things and you will discover who you are without them.
Yes. I thought that was really constructive and empathetic way of putting it.
Yeah. And Esme digs her heels in and she's like, I'm not doing it. And they say, well, then you gotta go.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, well, you know what? I think I'm just going to make a stand here and say no. And they're like, so are you leaving tonight?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. It's like, no, love.
It's black and white here.
If you don't do that, you leave.
Yeah. This is our culture and our life and our rules, and you have to stick with them if you want to be here.
She was sort of throwing a tantrum about like, but I've had too much taken from me all in one go. I can't. It's too much.
Well, like, don't sign up for a show where you're gonna live very conservatively.
Because they all talk about like, oh, I've done my research. I understand. I'm going into this eyes wide open, and I'm like, evidently not.
Yeah.
And it's left ostensibly that she's leaving.
I don't think she counted lashes and nails as makeup. So when she was like, no makeup, she's like, cool, I can take all my moisturisers and my cleansers and my nails and my lashes and I'll be fine.
But yeah, I mean, the preview seems to show her still around, so I'm presuming that they do separate her from her eyelashes and her nails.
I don't really know what she expected, really, because those nails would need updating at least 3 weeks.
Well,
and she's going to be there for 4 weeks.
Well, also, I love the bit where they were like, if you're going to milk a cow, you cannot have those nails. And he goes, well, I just won't milk a cow then. No. Funny.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. But yeah, it was just so childish. I thought that level of entitlement and that level of like, well, I'm just not going to do that.
I suppose, she is one of the younger ones.
And an only child with a single parent, maybe that's kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm making a lot of assumptions.
There's a bit of a spoiler here, isn't there? Because they showed us a preview for the next episode and she's in it. And she has removed her lashes. I didn't see her nails, but yeah, she clearly gives in.
Yeah, so I'm presuming that'll be at the start of the next episode where they go, oh yeah, well, I will. Okay, like producers have a word and go, look, we shipped you out of here, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting interaction. It felt quite endemic of people's reactions broadly, which was like, how dare you try and take my things away from me when I came here specifically to get away from all of that stuff.
It showed quite a lot of entitlement, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so Aaron, who's 40 years old and talks a lot about how he's very religious and that's important to him, and that he felt a lot of societal pressure to lose his virginity.
Yes.
He wanted to wait until marriage. Marriage hasn't found him, but he did in his mid-30s.
32.
At 32, his early to mid-30s.
I think he actually might be 42 now.
Okay.
So he's holding on to this.
He is. He said, like, I lost my virginity, but I didn't want to. I felt pressured into it.
Yeah.
And so, again, it seems like he's feeling like he'll fit in better in the Amish society, and it aligns more with his religious views.
Well, he grew up, I think, next door to an Amish family, and his best friend was Amish, and he feels like he's got quite a good grounding and understanding of the culture and the lifestyle and what it entails.
This is the one that seems like he's got his head on across this a lot more than the others to me, even more so than Cosplay Lady. Mm-hmm. Because, like, he grew up adjacent to it and everything. He gives us a little teaser at a certain point to say, well, I do have a disability, so hopefully that'll be all right. They reveal when they get there that he is deaf, or like hearing impaired, because he's not completely deaf, is he?
He said without his hearing aid, it sounds like everyone's underwater.
Which is probably as close to being deaf as you're going to, like,
yeah, well, he says it's
functionally.
difficult to be in the present moment because he's focusing so much on what people are actually saying.
It must be disorienting.
Yeah. The problem he has is that his hearing aids connect via Bluetooth to his phone.
He's got the most not like Amish incompatible hearing aids in the known world. They're
most
like
techie.
They're little tiny things that fit in his ear.
You can't even see them.
Which is fine, because they were like, this is a cable, what does this charge? And he's like, oh, my hearing aids. And I was like, okay, well, maybe they'll be all right with that. I mean, God knows where he's going to charge them.
The thing is that the Amish do allow for technology, including hearing aids, so they, where necessary. All medical stuff where necessary. So they're looking at this going, this isn't for a hearing aid that I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he's like, oh yeah, it Bluetooths onto my phone, so I do need my phone.
And they're like, that's absolutely, you cannot have your phone.
But what they say is, what we'll need to do is try and get you some alternative hearing aids as quickly as possible.
He doesn't seem to hear this, and he goes off on a rant about how he needs his hearing aids.
He has a proper sourpuss.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, if the problem is, right, if I'm not able to be in the moment, how am I supposed to integrate? How am I supposed to go on this process? And it's like, I get that.
More entitlement.
Yeah. It's one of those ones where you feel like, well, if you're going, like, you know Amish, right, mate, apparently. Like, you must know that this isn't going to fly.
Yeah.
Unless he's been misled by production or something, or it's staged a bit or whatever. But explore alternatives here. Like, at least have that conversation. This just feels a bit, like, daft. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out in the short term. Maybe we'll get to next episode and he'll just magically have some acceptable hearing aids.
Yeah, maybe. We'll find out, I guess. One thing I did think when we first met Aaron is that I thought, wow, this guy's going to fit in, because he's training. He's training hard. He's got a lot of muscles that he's showing us. Hurrah! And I'm thinking he is going to fit right in with the barn raising. Yeah. He's going to be all over that manual labour. He's been practicing for this his whole life. He's ready.
As long as he can have his hearing aids.
Yeah, well, apart from that.
Yes. And it will be interesting because, like, yeah, he seems like the most set up to, like, do the work. That could work in his favour. But again, it depends whether he can accept the whole tech thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Also, like, his conversation, because we see him have a conversation with his parents about it, and I feel like that was the most sort of, like, grounded one that we saw of the parent conversations, because they were just like, look, it's going to be hard. Like, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah, because, again, they also know more about the Amish lifestyle than most people, being so close to it.
They didn't seem horrified at the idea. They were just like, it's going to be hard, so you're going to have to, like, work really hard at it.
Yeah.
But,
Tell you what's interesting is, I think it's Aaron, is a Sen teacher. So we've got 2 out of the 6 muggles that are involved with Sen education.
Yeah. He seems to be a bit more willing to adapt than Esme. A bit.
No, I'm just saying, isn't that an odd proportion of people?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Like, you could have had any occupation in the world, and we've got 2 special educational needs specialists.
Yeah, that's true.
It makes you wonder if there's something there, or maybe they were advertising in a certain magazine that people read. I don't know.
Maybe people that work in Sen are the type of people that are open to fundamental sudden life changes.
I'm just thinking it's like Love Island seems to attract all the models, and it's very boring because everyone's a model.
Suddenly Amish attracts all the Sen staff.
No, but seriously, like, there's got to be something, right?
It's because they want to be sent to the Amish. I think that's everyone.
We've covered everyone, yeah.
Those are the people whom are suddenly Amish,
Yeah.
apart from that they really aren't Amish yet.
And it's not very sudden.
So I think what we forgot to mention at the beginning is that the premise is that they'll stay with the Amish for the month, and then they choose whether to stay or go.
They call it the reckoning.
The reckoning!
Yeah, it's like an artificial reckoning, I guess, because they're choosing the day and time. Is that not right?
Yeah.
Isn't it meant to be spontaneous?
I was really hoping they'd have a really cool Amish word for it, like Rumspringer. But
Rumspringer is a great word.
yeah.
But no, it's just the reckoning.
The reckoning, which is pretty dramatic.
I suppose.
It's better than the decision.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
We've only just met these people.
Yeah.
If you had to make a guess right now as to how many of these 6 will say, yes, I'm staying, how many do you reckon?
Do you know what? The problem is that they're all leaving behind their families.
Yeah.
And their friends.
Are you saying that the problem is that their families are still around?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that in order for any of these 6 to choose Amish, they basically say goodbye to their friends and their family. And I don't think that's a realistic choice, certainly not after a month. If they were going with a whole community, or they'd already fallen in love with someone and they were starting a family within the Amish community, or something like that.
Don't forget, Kendra said that she fell in love with an Amish boy
Yeah,
when
who
she was
she
younger.
met one time at a party.
And she fell in love with him by the end of the party.
Yeah, so discount that. How many people will it suit? I think a couple. How many people will choose to stay? I think 0.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're predicting a big fat 0. I'm going to predict 1. Bold prediction. I think Aaron is going to be all over it.
Do you?
Yes.
You just don't think he likes his life at all?
Well, that's not quite. I've got a vibe. I'm going by gut instinct. And of course, he seems to only have his parents, so he's got
who
less...
live next door, so that's fine.
Yeah, and they seem pretty accepting of the whole thing, so he's probably got the least amount of friction in that area. One of the things to watch out for as well is, like, in the previews that we've seen, and a bit in this episode, Kendra seems to have the eye for Matt.
Yeah.
She's not shy about saying it. She's like, oh yeah, hello, mister.
Well, that's not in this
type.
episode, is it? Again, that's in the...
Well, she was saying it when he first arrived.
Oh, she did?
Yeah,
she
was like,
said
hello.
it to us, the audience, didn't she?
Not to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the preview, people start to notice.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that's going to go down well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something to look out for. I don't know why I hit the arm of my... I'm so excited for Suddenly Amish!
So what are you rating this then, Ben?
Oh, I am gonna rate this a solid 5 weirdly shaped toilets out of 7.
Are you?
I am really optimistic about this. I think it's gonna be really good. I think there's a lot of scope for it to be great.
Yeah.
This, as an opening episode, solid. Some mad as box of frogs people. I can see train wrecks coming in the distance. I think it's going to be really interesting to see that convergence of the two cultures. I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more in depth about Amish culture and everything. So I think there's a lot to look forward to. Mm-hmm. It was a setup episode. We learned a lot about people. So it was never going to be like a 6 or a 7. But I think as intros go, I'm hooked. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. I am going slightly different.
Oh, God.
I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. So you also gave it 5.
Yeah. Out of 10.
So middle of the road. So the equal to the worst Oak Island episode.
I just think that I don't know. I wanted a bit more from these muggles. You know what I mean? I wanted them to be more prepared, more ready. And it was disappointing. Either producer-driven or stupidity. Choose better people then that are more serious. Because that's what I feel like it's lacking. I don't feel like the muggles, all of them, are taking it seriously.
I don't think the selection of muggles is aimed at us. It's aimed at people that are watching it to laugh at the catastrophe.
Am watching it, and I am giving it 5 out of 10.
Okay, well, the room for improvement, though, so it might surprise you.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the feeling of the heavy hand of the producers will lessen as we go along.
They don't need to be heavy-handed, do they? This is a culture shock enough.
And of course, I think we are hyper aware of it because we watch a lot of reality telly and we look at it with a certain eye because we're thinking of talking about it and stuff.
And also, maybe because we're British, we have a different culture from the Muggles going in anyway.
You calling them Muggles really doesn't help with that.
So, I don't know, there's already why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because we wouldn't do that anyway.
Just so you know, if you want to fill out your mental picture of us watching the telly, everyone, we do drink a cup of tea and have a bowler hat on while we're doing it.
Don't forget the biscuits.
Rather. Oh, and hold a black umbrella.
Right.
Folded up.
You've made it ridiculous.
Have I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note, that's all, folks. Thank you for listening.
You stole my line.
I'm sorry, autopilot. You do it.
Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
Not you. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Toodles.